Yo, I just want to get this off my chest. That was not my fault. Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash.
Can't get mad at us, you can't capitalize.
I can't capitalize! JL, how many points you had?
Ultimate strength.
And you say you part of the victory? You out! It's me, Kyrie, and LeBron! You out!
Summoning Salt merchandise is... Next was the World 5 Fortress, a vertical stage where having the propeller suit helps immensely. Riker Z was able to propeller up from platform to platform, then defeated Iggy with 3 jumps on his head. The next stage was 5-4. This stage is intended to be an auto-scroller, where you ride on this raft while enemies rain down from these platforms above. It's designed to be long and slow, not ideal conditions for a speedrun. So, instead, Riker Z decided to implement the first game-breaking trick of the run. This was first posted by UC Pro just 2 weeks after the game came out, and takes some practice to get right, but thanks to the propeller suit and navigating and jumping at the correct times, it's possible to skip the entire stage by jumping on the platforms and blocks. Riker Z did so beautifully, making a few brief hesitations but still flying through. After 5-4 came the World 5 Ghost House, where Riker Z took the secret exit once again to unlock another cannon, this time taking him to World 8. The fastest path through World 8 consists of 5 levels: 8-1, 8-2, 8-7, the airship, and finally Bowser's Castle. In 8-1, Riker Z had to deal with randomly falling meteors, and he got hit twice. He powered back up, only to intentionally take damage again later on to boost through some lava. In 8-2, Riker Z once again took the secret exit to unlock 8-7, a hidden level that bypasses most of World 8. 8-7 itself is a long stage consisting of jumping from spine coaster to spine coaster. World 8's airship isn't an auto-scroller like in previous games. Instead, Riker Z had to run through and traverse it as quickly as possible. He picked up the propeller shroom again to jump across big gaps instead of having to wait and slowly bring the platforms down. The Bowser Jr. fight was simple, hitting him with 3 bombs that he dropped. And finally, there was Bowser's Castle. Riker Z used the propeller suit quite a bit to navigate at the start, which isn't always the fastest. The last part of the run is the escape, where you have to guide Bowser's heat-seeking fireballs to destroy the path in front of you, then navigate through an obstacle course to the finish. In all, Riker Z finished after 26 minutes and 56 seconds. It was a good starting point. There were some obvious slowdowns that could be cleaned up, but no huge mistakes or deaths, and the video quickly went viral on YouTube. Over the next several months, Riker Z would continue running the game to push his time lower. At the end of 2011, he posted his first new time, a 25:49. This run actually saved time over the 26:56 in every single stage. Most of his strategies were the same, but were better executed. In 5-1, for instance, he dealt with the water much better, jumping out earlier and just barely being able to make it to the end. One of the biggest time saves was in 8-1, where he managed to avoid getting hit by the meteors and didn't have to power back up. But the best improvement was in Bowser's Castle. He guided the fireballs much better in the escape, using 9 fireballs to clear the path instead of 18 in his old record. In 2012, Riker Z would get 2 more records, a 25:31, and a 25:27. These runs both optimized existing strategies and utilized new ones. In the escape, Riker Z was able to use just 7 fireballs to clear the path ahead, the fewest ever achieved. In 8-2, he picked up a star to get additional speed instead of damage boosting as Big Mario. And in World 5, he chose to play 5-3 instead of 5-2. It was a more difficult stage, but a slightly faster one if performed optimally. Riker Z had left his mark on New Super Mario Bros. Wii speedrunning. 4 world records in a year and a half. He stopped running the game. But then something very interesting happened. Despite years going by, and many new runners emerging, Riker Z's world record remained unbroken. The leaderboard grew, and players got better, but Riker Z's years-old effort was too much to top. Finally, in 2016, someone broke through. His name was Green Uprooter, and he beat Riker Z by 1 second. But unfortunately, he didn't record it. Green Uprooter had recorded competitive times before this run, and is a trusted community member, so his 25:26 is taken at face value, but it can't be viewed today. That left the world record in an awkward place. It had taken 3.5 years to shave 1 unrecorded second off the record. Now, there was no telling when it would be broken again. But in early 2016, a new runner was climbing up the leaderboards. Quickly, it became inevitable that he was going to be the next record holder. In April 2016, he officially did it, closing out a 25:23 to beat Green Uprooter by 3 seconds. But this guy wasn't just any world record holder. He had reached the top, and he intended to stay there for a long time. His name was Ochgard. Ochgard had been around the speedrunning block before, achieving top times in Mega Man X3, Crash Tag Team Racing, and many other games. It makes sense that he was quickly able to get the record in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. But what nobody could have expected is that the very next day, he did it again, a 25:22. And the next day, another record, a 25:19. Ochgard had set 3 world records in 3 days. He was more consistent than any player who had come before him, meaning he hit tricks more often and made fewer mistakes. A big place he saved time was in the escape, navigating through the platforms quicker and hesitating less. And overall, he was able to execute most tricks more cleanly, shaving fractions of a second off in several stages. After these 3 records, Ochgard took a break from the game. Nobody came close to challenging him, with the closest active runner still being 16 seconds away. His skill level was far ahead of the rest, so he didn't really need to keep defending the record. But he came back in August anyway, and immediately got a 5-second world record. Ochgard's 25:14 was his smoothest run yet. He cleaned up a small mistake in 5-3 from his last run, doing a small jump to be able to run under the blocks while on the log. His 5-4 execution was also smoother, as he didn't pound the blocks he landed on and was able to continue moving. And in 8-1, he didn't slow down as much while propellering over the lava. These all added up to a few seconds of time save, and he didn't lose any significant time anywhere else. With a 25:14, Ochgard had pulled way ahead, 12 seconds ahead of second place, and 21 seconds ahead of any active runner. He had set a total of 4 records, and barring any new developments, it seemed like nobody else had a real shot of catching him. But still, probably Ochgard's most unlikely feat was the 3-day streak of records he had back in April. Even setting a record on back-to-back days is extremely rare, so extending that streak to 3 days, it practically never happens. Not only did it show complete dominance of a category, but it showed a level of consistency that was unrivaled. It was undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment for Ochgard. Yes, from August 16th through the 18th, Ochgard once again set 3 world records in a row. Doing this once was staggeringly unlikely, but in all my years of research, I've never heard of someone doing it twice. All 3 records were 25/12s, but each one was slightly lower than the last. The time saves were minimal, but impressive in their own right. The first record had a particularly clean Bowser's Castle, the second cleaned up a mistake in 5-3, and the final shaved a fraction of a second on the rolling hills in 8-2. But still, these 3 records weren't good enough for Ochgard. 2 weeks later, he'd lower it again with a 25-10, his 8th world record. Ochgard was quickly approaching a barrier, a sub-25 minute run. He was 10 seconds away. Did he have that much time left to save? Well, there were still fractions of a second he could get from cleaner movement throughout the stages. In terms of stuff he'd gotten in a run before, all that time save would put him at 25:05, still 5 seconds away. But there was one other trick he could go for. It would be the hardest trick in the run by far, but it would get him to sub 25. This is 556. In the second half of the World 5 Fortress, the spiked walls move back and forth on a cycle throughout the entire level. Normally, with fast movement, you make it to the top and then have to wait a few seconds for the spikes to finish their cycle so you can get to the door. Typically, you enter the door with 546 left on the timer. However, with unbelievably fast movement, it's possible to barely reach the top a cycle early. You can just fit in before the spikes move and block your path, and you wind up reaching the door at 556. This was originally thought to be tool assisted only, as the precision involved is truly incredible. Your moves have to be just right, where the instant you land, you have to be starting your next jump up. But in late August 2016, Ochgard became the first human to pull off 556. He just barely squeezed in before the gap closed. But with this, he proved that it was a human viable trick. It saves 7.5 seconds, since the in-game timer moves a bit quicker than a real second, which means that when combined with the stages of 25:05, a sub 25 was indeed technically possible. So the goal was now in sight. With nobody else close to his skill level, Ochgard was the only one with any chance to do it. It was still a long shot goal, but at least there was a narrow path to sub 25. He would have to shave time off wherever he could, then nail 556 to get the bulk of the time save. If he could pull all that off, it would be an essentially unbeatable speedrun. For the rest of 2016, Ochgard played more than he ever had before. And over the next few months, this is what happened.
Oh my god.
You get it?
Yep.
You did.
Yes.
After weeks of trying, it had happened. the legendary, unimaginable sub 25. This was very close to being a perfect speedrun. At the end of a run that had gotten 5.56, that was 5 seconds ahead of the record, Ochgard was able to get a gold split on Bowser's Castle. It was the fastest he had ever completed the last stage in a run. His movement was impeccable, and he saved all the time he could. Ochgard could finally celebrate and take it easy. He had gotten his ultimate run, and there was no need to bother defending it. And so, he didn't. For the rest of 2016 and throughout 2017, nobody was really doing world record attempts in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The community considered Ochgard's time to be essentially unbeatable, and it made sense why. First, you'd have to get 5.56, which fellow top runner Gix01 described as a 1 in 50 trick. Then you'd have to find a way to save time in one of the other stages. Ochgard did not leave much room for this. And finally, you'd have to match his incredible Bowser's Castle split, which ended with a 5.11 on the in-game timer. As 2017 progressed, people did improve their times, but nobody was close to 24.58. Entering 2018, it really did seem as though Ochgard had achieved an unbeatable world record. Ochgard himself felt that maybe on the outer limit, a 24.55 would be possible, by doing quicker wall kicks in 5.4, doing spins later into jumps in the airship so Mario moved faster for longer, and other small optimizations like those. He stopped short of calling his record unbeatable, but it's clear that neither he nor anybody else in the community felt there was much wiggle room. And then, in April 2018, this happened. $24.45. How on earth was that possible? Well, certainly this run pulled out all the stops, like 5.56, right? No, this run didn't have 5.56, so it lost a little over 7 seconds. Well, certainly this time was achieved by an established runner like Ochgard, right? No, it was from a new runner named Fade Vanity. Alright, so what happened here? Well, Fade Vanity was a runner who quickly rose up the leaderboards in early 2018 until he had a low 25. He performed the 24.45 on April 13th, 2018, and other than missing 5.56, the run was incredibly smooth from start to finish. 8.2 in particular was fantastic, finishing with a nearly unheard of 4.24 on the in-game timer. But that's not why this run was the record. This run had a massive time save because of a huge new trick in the airship. And that trick is called Bombless. At the end of the World 8 airship, you have to fight Bowser Jr. The intended way to fight him is to wait for him to drop a bomb, then ground pound to send it back up to hit him. Do that 3 times and Bowser Jr. is defeated. For years, that's how players fought him in runs. However, in August 2017, runner I Love SMB found that in the World's 6 airship, it was possible to defeat Bowser Jr. by jumping on him 3 times, instead of using the intended clown cars. Runners then theorized that this could apply in the World 8 airship fight as well, which is what you do in an any percent run. However, the gap between Bowser Jr. and the top of the screen is smaller than Mario's hitbox, so despite players trying, nobody could fit in the gap to hit Bowser Jr. on the head. For a few months, that was the end of it. But in January 2018, former world record holder Green Up Rooter figured it out. The key was Bowser Jr.'s movement. He not only moves horizontally, but also vertically in a sinusoidal pattern, oscillating from a low point to a high point. So if you fly up to him, then perform a ground pound in a 1 to 2 frame window when Bowser Jr. is at the lowest point in his oscillation, Mario's hitbox briefly shrinks just enough to fit in the gap so you can hit Bowser Jr. If you're able to pull this off, it saves 13 seconds, an incredible amount of time for a run like this. The problem is, it's really difficult. The only way to practice it was to load a file with propeller shrooms, then play the second half of the stage over and over. When Green Uprooter first discovered it in January 2018, it was thought to be an RNG related trick because nobody could hit it with any consistency. In fact, it took 2 more months before somebody hit it in a run, when Gix got it in March. Doing bombless saves up to 13 seconds, but doing double bombless, where you skip 2 of the 3 bombs, saves up to 20. Triple bombless would actually lose time since simply ground pounding the other bomb is faster. But despite double bombless being theoretically known to be possible, nobody had ever performed it, even in practice. You'd have to hit the most precise trick in the game twice in a row. It just wasn't realistic. So that's what made it even more crazy when Fade Vanity got the world's first ever double bombless and finished the run as his 24:45 world record.
I did it! I did it! Oh my fucking god, I did it!
Sadly, Fade Vanity quit speedrunning in 2021 and deleted all videos of his runs. So, many of his world records are lost today, including his 24:45. A small amount of footage from this run and others were preserved in Connor01's record history video, so we can see glimpses of what he did. But when he set this record in April 2018, the community was absolutely shocked at his accomplishment. And still, there was clearly more time to save. He didn't get 556, so a run in the 24:30s and possibly lower was possible. Fade Vanity was the new top runner of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and while little footage remains of what he did over the next several months, his impact and legacy continue to this day. With time still left on the table, Fade Vanity committed to attempts, and went all out to drive the record down.
Let's go! We fucking did it! Let's go! 3x! Come on! Let's go!
Let's take a stroll over to the new Super Mario Bros. Wii leaderboards. You've got a number of runners with a low 25-minute time, and a few that had just broken into the 24-minute barrier, with the lowest being a 24:57. Then, you have Fade Vanity, one of the most dominant record holders in all of speedrunning. He had set 5 records now, and when combining 556, double bombless, and tight execution all around, he managed to take it under 24:30. Fade took a break after this, and his record really didn't seem to be in jeopardy. A few months went by, and while runners like the Coding Boy and DCA did creep into the 24:40s, there was still a lot of separation. It had turned into a battle for second place, which changed hands a few times in late 2019. But nobody had a chance of catching Fade Vanity. Nobody had his consistency or skill. As for Fade himself, he initially didn't have much of a need to continue playing the category. But by early 2020, new strategies were found once again. The days of huge time saves seemed to be in the past, but minor strategies like this would be crucial in finding time to save over the record. They both came in World 8 and were both found by Astix. In 8-1, normally you have to significantly slow down after propellering over this lava. However, by picking up and carrying a shell, you can throw it and end Mario's spin early, meaning you slow down much less. In 8-2, the rolling hills throughout the stage can destroy your speed. However, Astix found that by crouch jumping and releasing the crouch at the top of the jump, Mario's speed is reset back to normal, and once again you don't have to slow down as much. In total, these tricks saved about a second and a half, meaning the potential was there for Fade to continue lowering the record. And on January 9th, 2020, that's exactly what he did.
Boom! Gas! Broke the tie.
Broke the tie? What tie? Well, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii leaderboard was going through a transition at this point. See, whenever the game fades to black, it's loading what comes next. These loads vary from disc to disc, console to console, or even within the same disc or console. Each load might only vary by a few tenths of a second, but over the course of a run, this can add up to 15 to 20 seconds. That means that a player can have a much faster run, but fall behind because of loading times outside of their control. So, the community was transitioning towards subtracting all loads out of the final time. This would level the playing field, and as a byproduct, lower the time of each run by a bit over 2 minutes. Fade's 24:29 converted to a time of 22:20 without loads. In January 2020, a runner named U-Video completed a run of 24:35 with loads that the community thought might have tied Fade's run when retimed without loads, hence the comment at the end of Fade's run. It ended up being just behind it with a 22:23, but when Fade got his 24:28, that removed all doubt, and Fade was securely on top once again. In March 2020, timing without loads was made official, and the world record was now a 22:19. It's also worth mentioning that in recent months, players discovered that the way they originally retimed runs added a couple seconds in certain cases. Fade's 22:19 was originally timed as a 22:21, but for this video I'll be using retimed times for accuracy. Through the first few months of 2020, the leaderboard was starting to get tight at the top. The record remained the same, but people like U-Video were now just seconds away. Fade Vanity had been in the top spot for over 2 years, setting 6 records and lowering the time by half a minute in the process. He was the third long-lasting record holder in the game's history, mirroring the domination that Riker Z and Ochgard once had. But other players were starting to catch up. Everyone's record reign needs to end someday, and with increased pressure at the top of the leaderboard, it seemed inevitable that a breakthrough was coming. And on July 2nd, that breakthrough finally came. This is Pidgey. Pidgey was early on a clear candidate to take the record. He was a former world record holder in New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, so making the switch to the Wii version came naturally to him. After running the game for just a few months, Pidgey was within seconds of Fade Vanity's time. And on July 2nd, 2020, he got a 22:19.4, just barely ahead of Fade for a new world record. New strategies in World 5 were a key for this run. There was an even easier method for getting 556, developed by Tutti Polo. By doing an additional wall kick here, you're set up to more easily make it to the second wall kick, and have a much better chance at getting the fast cycle. And in 5-3, Monster found a trick nicknamed the Weird Shell Strat. If you're fast enough, you arrive at this Koopa right after he stops to dance, and can then pick him up to kill the Bramball and save half a second. There's also randomness on the overworld maps. The World 1 Goomba moves 3 times clockwise, meaning there's one direction he never moves. If this one direction is up, you save 35 frames, since the Goomba's up animation takes the longest. On the other hand, if that one direction is down, you lose that time, since down is his shortest animation. World 5 has similar randomness with the Piranha Plant, but it's less understood than the Goomba. These two spots have about a second of time variance combined, which is entirely out of the player's control. So, in July 2020, this was the state of the new Super Mario Bros. Wii leaderboard. In first place, you had Pidgey, the newcomer who clearly had enormous potential. And just a half second behind him, you had Fade Vanity, the veteran who had proven himself time and time again. So, who was better? Well, just 4 days later, Pidgey would set his second world record, a slightly lower 22:19. He saved time by successfully getting the shell boost in 8-1, but lost a bit in Bowser's Castle. 2 records in a row from Pidgey. It seemed he might be there to stay. But just 2 weeks later, Fade Vanity was back. Fade got a 22:18, marking the first time in the game's history that someone reclaimed the record after losing it. The time save mostly came from optimizing movement, and Fade was back on top. 6 days later, he was dethroned. A 22:16 from Pidgey, a run that matched the fastest he had ever performed Bowser's Castle before. In October, a 22:15 from Pidgey. A month later, a lower 22:15 from Fade Vanity. 2 weeks later, a new record from Pidgey. That was 7 world records in the last 5 months. One new option they had was Bombful in 5-4. This stage had many small movement optimizations over the years, but Bombful was the biggest one. Yacker Tracker found that if you precisely jump off the first bomb, spin at the right time to bounce off the second bomb, then do a blind twirl and bounce off the third bomb, it's possible to make it to the end of the stage without hesitating. It saves 2 seconds, but is incredibly difficult, and most players didn't choose to implement it. A few months later, Pidgey would strike again with a remarkable 22:13. But in May, probably the most bizarre moment in the game's history took place. A runner named Skippy had been a world record contender for months, but perpetually remained a few seconds behind the top spot. His skill level was right there, but stringing everything together for a world record run is incredibly challenging. On May 2nd, Skippy got a run off to a good start, essentially remaining tied with Pidgey's record through World 5. However, he started bleeding time in World 8, with a worse transition into the pipe in 8-2 and some sloppy movement in the airship. Combined, these lost him a couple seconds, so despite matching Pidgey's Bowser's Castle, a new record was out of the question. Still, after the run he subtracted the loads, and he could see how much he missed the record by. He hadn't missed the record. Skippy had just gotten a 22:13.167, a new world record by half a second. This did not make sense. He was tied going into World 8, then lost some time and finished the run. He didn't gain that time back anywhere. It was still a very well executed run, but this should not have been world record. Yet somehow, the time was faster than Pidgey's run. What happened? Well, the community looked into it. Runner Curran Joseph made a video removing all gameplay from Skippy's run, leaving just the overworld screens and cutscenes. He then compared this video to Pidgey's non-gameplay sections. Everything was roughly in sync through Worlds 1 and 5. But then, they arrived at the cutscene after stage 8-7. There it was. Skippy's cutscene was almost There it was. Skippy's cutscene was almost 2 seconds faster. Curran quickly figured out why. You have the choice of playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii in a 4:3 or 16:9 aspect ratio. Skippy played on a CRT TV, so he selected the 4:3 mode. The game runs identically in each mode for an any percent run, except during the cutscene after 8-7. In 4:3, black bars are added to the top and bottom of the screen. The game still loads these regions despite them not appearing visible. So, the airship above stage 8-7 loads when it's off screen, and the camera stops moving about 2 seconds sooner. Despite this seeming like an obvious find, players didn't discover this before Skippy's run because nearly all runners played on a flat screen in 16:9 mode. In fact, only one prior record holder played in 4:3. Riker Z, way back in 2011 and 2012. The time save wasn't known about back then, so with it being unearthed nearly a decade later, there were suddenly 2 more seconds on the table. So now, at the top of the leaderboard, you had 3 real record contenders. Skippy was the first obvious one. He was the current record holder, and while he may have benefited from the faster cutscene, he was still an incredibly talented runner. The second contender was Pidgey. All he had done was set the record 6 times in the past, and he was still competing to lower it. But the third contender was someone I haven't mentioned yet. Someone who had snuck up to the top with a 22:15, just 2 seconds behind the record. This is Billy Joe 66. Billy began to ascend up the leaderboards in late 2020. By the end of the year, he was in the top 10, and a month later, he was a bona fide record contender. He'd had a tragic run in February that hit Bombful in 5-4 and was about 3 seconds ahead of the record into Bowser's Castle. Unfortunately, he misguided a fireball and had to use an extra one, and upon retiming the run, he missed world record by half a second. But Billy didn't give up there. He did thousands of attempts, and partially thanks to the boost given by playing on 4:3, he found himself on world record pace with regularity. And a few weeks after Skippy's record, Billy was on another run deep. He lost a bit of time in the second half of World 5, but cleaned up the mistakes that Skippy had made in World 8. With about half a second lead, he entered Bowser's Castle and tried to close it out for good. Billy's run finished at 22:12.367, a world record by just under a second. He was now the 7th record holder in the game's history, and he had earned it. This was his 59th run to the airship since his last major personal best. He had finally been able to chain together double bombless and a clean Bowser's Castle, and the result was a world record. Once again, the game was approaching a barrier. With all time saves being utilized, a time under 22:10 was starting to seem feasible. But what time was left to save? Well, most of it was in World 5. Cleaner movement would save a second in 5-4, and Bombful would save a couple more. There were also minor improvements to be made in the Fortress and Ghost House. Those time saves would add up to a run just under 22:10. But there was work to do to get to that point. The record was still about 2.4 seconds away from a sub 22:10. As time goes on, most speedruns see smaller and smaller improvements to their records, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii was no exception. The last several records had all been improvements by a second, or half a second, or even less than that. To get an improvement of 2.4 seconds, you have to go 11 records back in time, to Fade Vanity's 2429. The point is, it was gonna take a while to get the record under 2210. Multiple improvements would have to be made, and players would have to grind hundreds or thousands of attempts. An incredible run was on the horizon, but it would take time to get it there. And then, in one attempt, Pidgey decided to lay waste to it all. He saved the time in World 5, hitting everything but Bombful. He got the shell boost in 8-1 and the crouch jumps in 8-2. After hitting double bombless, it became all the more real. This was easily world record pace, but was it sub 2210 pace? Maybe. It was right on the border between 2209 and 2210. It was coming down to the wire. Pidgey just had to finish the escape, and the sub 2210 could be his. New Super Mario Bros. Wii has motion controls for certain actions. If you shake the Wii remote with the propeller suit, you fly into the air. Pidgey had made it to the end, then put down his controller to hit the split button, but he did it a fraction of a second too soon, and it registered as a spin. At first, the community wasn't sure if this would still be a world record. They couldn't tell until they removed the loads and retimed it. And when they did, Pidgey found out that he had missed the world record by 2 frames. It goes without saying how hard it is to come back from moments like this, when you're so close and lose your ultimate goal to something as trivial as motion controls. And it's exceptionally hard to accept when you have competitors like Pidgey did. Billy still had the world record, and Skippy was just 1 second behind. He had done nearly 4,000 attempts, ran the game for over 2 years, and had never had a pace this good this deep into the run. And sadly, there was no telling when he'd get there again. 11 days later, Pidgey had pulled a Dave Steeb. It took him just a week and a half to get back on the exact same pace. And I mean the exact same pace. It was almost an identical run into Bowser's Castle. He'd had a nearly flawless World 5 other than skipping Bombful, and hit the same tricks in World 8. He nailed double bombless, and just like that, Pidgey had given himself another chance. Once again, he had to get through the escape. Redemption for Pidgey. His miss from 11 days ago could have haunted him for months, but instead, in one straight shot, Pidgey had jumped all the way to sub 2210. It was a landmark world record, and as the community celebrated, it was pretty clear that this one was gonna stand for a while. There were still other competitors at the top, but Pidgey had gotten nearly everything you could get in a speedrun of the game. It was too tall of an order. And so, throughout the rest of 2021 and into 2022, Pidgey's 2209 remained alone at the top. In early 2022, competition continued to increase. New names appeared in the top 10, and pressure was starting to mount. But Pidgey's records still remained strong. The fact that he had gotten a 2209 when nobody else could get below a high 2211 was indicative of his skill level. even after months of attempts from the world's best runners, no one was beating it. The simple fact was, without getting bombful in 5.4, Pidgey's record would be next to impossible to beat, and nobody was up to the task of getting it in a fast enough run. Until Billy came back. On March 26th, 2022, Billy had a fairly clean run into World 5. He hit bombful in 5.4, gaining a couple of seconds over the record and instantly making his run much more serious. He then gained more time in the Ghost House via the meme jump through the Boo Ring. Unfortunately, he lost time in both 8.7 and the airship, so despite making it through double bombless, he was about even with the record into Bowser's Castle. He'd need an unbelievable last stage for this to have a shot at the record. And all Billy did was proceed to have the best Bowser's Castle ever performed in a record run. And he beat Pidgey by less than 0.2 of a second. This run is the current world record of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Sub 22 might seem close, but right now it's quite unrealistic. A theoretical God run could clock in a few seconds above 22 minutes, but it's hard to see a path to a record below that at the moment. That being said, I have little doubt it'll one day come. Eventually, we'll hear of a 21-minute any percent run, but that day is not today. This is the history of New Super Mario Bros. Wii World Records. Thanks for watching.
This is higher. This is also tennis. Great minds think alike. Keep exploring, always and forever. Every detail striving for precision and pursuing for excellency. Challenging ourselves to create boundless possibilities. Bursting with passion on the game court. Glowing with extraordinary in whole life. Higher will join hands evermore with tennis to embark the great journey together with you. Higher, official partner of the Australian Open. Higher, play with the number ones.
But I'm on that new shit. They say they gon' ride me. See me never do shit. Cause they know that's the reason they gon' end up on the news.
I'm a fire in my laser. Before I go, I just want to get this off my chest. That was not my fault. Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash.
Can't get mad at it, you can't capitalize.
I can't capitalize. JL, how many points you had?
Ultimate strength.
And you say you part of the victory? You out! It's me, Kyrie, and LeBron! You out!
Start voting, bro. Everybody start voting, bro. Everybody start voting, bro. Bowser versus Eggman. Like I said, I don't know anything about these two. I don't know anything about these two right now, bro. I know Eggman is out here going against, the only thing I know is Eggman is going against Sonic, Bowser is going against Mario. Out of them two, I think Mario is the strongest out of them two. I could be wrong, I don't know. But we just gonna get with it. Everybody get y'all prediction in, bro. We gonna get started. I'm gonna go. Me personally, I'm gonna go Eggman. I feel like I should go Eggman, right? I mean, he's a normal person, but he's smart as shit. He's Einstein. I'm gonna pick brains over strength this time.
This battle is sponsored by
I'm gonna pick
Marvel
brains
Snap
over
and
strength.
Prize Picks.
Death battle!
Bowser versus Dr. Eggman, the king of the Koopas and the baddest of badniks.
Y'all can't switch up. Make sure y'all predict.
And I'm Boomstick. And it's
Make
our
sure
job to
y'all
analyze
pick
the
who y'all
weapons,
want.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The Mushroom Kingdom, a peaceful land of kindness, adventure, love.
Yo, you know what's actually crazy? I don't play a lot of Mario and Sonic games, but we still on the first Sonic game, but I played this one. That's crazy. I played this. This is Mario 64, I think. This is Mario 64. I played this Mario game on a Nintendo DS, bro.
Peaceful land of kindness, adventure, love.
Boring. Move aside, princess. It's time this place got way more awesome. Here comes King Koopa himself.
And yesterday, I'm just now realizing this man Bowser is a goddamn big ass turtle with horns.
The moment this orphan star child was found by Kamek, it was clear Bowser would command the disparate outcasts of the Mushroom World.
I thought that was his son.
Koopa Clan. Sadly, not everyone's born a toad, and they treat these critters like monsters, fated to a life of infinite jump farming for one-ups.
Where are they dead ass?
Bowser wanted a different world, but Princess Peach Toadstool would never allow.
Oh wait, age he's only 34. Damn. Height was 10 foot. family, Bowser Jr., Kamek, Kooplings, and his dead brother. Oh, dead brother. Hobbies, dancing, golf, go-karts, tennis, favorite food, cake, drumstick, steak. Princess Peach loves Princess Peach. His family hates the Mario Bros. Yoshi swimming.
How the evil king's
Oh, we
day
the
in the sun.
same
Her
with the
light
swimming.
was so bright, Bowser became infatuated with her.
So he turned all the Toads into bricks and kidnapped her, putting their princess in another castle and another and another,
Princess
like
Peach was
40
chopped
years of
back then.
castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bud.
Yet he was foiled time and time again by those pesky Mario Brothers. However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent.
Look at him! Dude's built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap.
Hey,
That's
how? He got a son. How does he have a son? How does he have a son? He did it with another Bowser or whatever his race is.
Spike Shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can
I don't
scratch
know.
it, especially when he rolls up like a prehistoric Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting
Oh.
meteors from outer space, beckoning the earth with a snap, inhaling torrents of wind, straight up calling down lightning. What
Okay.
else has he got?
Fire breath, immense strength, inhale, size, magic duplication. He could duplicate elemental reality. Huh? What? Reality warping? Huh? Teleportation, time travel? Yo, this gotta be Cap. Time travel? Enhanced form, Calcium Bowser, Dreamy Bowser, Dry Bowser, Furry Bowser. What?
Oh, just a little dabbling in dark magic.
Hell yeah, Wizard Turtle.
The original NES manual even describes him as a sorcerer king. Magic is how he turned the Toads into bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered. Telekinesis, creating perfect clones, reanimating his undead skeleton, and worst of all, ruining every game of Mario Party. Hey, no, I stole those
That's
coins
crazy.
fair and square.
Bowser spent decades hoarding treasures, coins, magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same guy that created multiple flying castles fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ.
With my 9,800 IQ? Hold up. He's smart? Yo, if he's smart, then this changes everything, right? I know Eggman is probably way smarter, but still, being smart?
But I've
He's
seen
only
this
smart
moron put
and
death
strong?
traps in his own backyard. A man after my own heart.
Despite his clumsiness, Bowser's charisma and leadership brought many to his side. Not enough to defeat Mario, but
that
his
was
army
hard. What was
doesn't make
that?
it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the most wicked band of misfits this side of World 8-4. The Koopa Troop.
An army spanning multiple
that
territories.
movie- that
across
Mario
the
movie was
Mushroom
fire, I ain't
World
gonna
and
cap.
beyond.
Goombas,
Y'all mess with that
Koopas,
Mario
the
movie?
Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes, and some even in race cars. They're the red shirts, first in and first out.
Piranha plants, bloopers, and lakitus use their surroundings to get the jump on unsuspecting prey, by land, sea, or sky.
We'd be here forever, John.
Ew! Is this how he used to look? Oh no! So is he what? This looks like an alligator with a shell.
And the small fries, booze, shy guys, sentient bombs with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit that covers their own vulnerabilities. For example, Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Boo has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while Kamek focuses on buffing allies, canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires.
Or swapping my items to screw up my Mario Party lead. Not again.
Speaking of
They keep
items,
bringing up
most
this
of the
Mario
minions can
Party.
use pretty much any power-up Mario can. The Goombas make frequent use of Tanuki tails, and Bowser can really get into the cat role play.
Oh,
But
shit.
as
Ain't the
Koopa
cat
Troop
one
grew
OP?
and grew, it started to feel less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his kids, the Koopalings?
They're adopted.
What's the
oh.
difference?
Good point.
Oh, they're
Bowser took them
adopted.
in and even trained them in dark magic.
So no one's as spoiled as his natural Nepo baby, Bowser Jr.,
Oh, I know.
captain of the Koopa Troop.
Spoiled is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized Delfino Plaza with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really, the king is very protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself
so
to
Bowser
transform
Jr. is his
into
actual
a
kid, though.
giant kaiju, all out to crush whatever bully's talking smack.
Maybe a little overkill. Just one punch from Giant Bowser launched a castle out of orbit.
Dang,
Taking into account the
yup,
light
you
path
already
and
know
the
they're gonna-
scale of their universe, Bowser's punch must have hit with a
You
force
already
of
know.
over 125 trillion tons of TNT.
Damn.
Considering how
But what they say up here, even without his giant size, Bowser scales to Mario, who can lasso celestial objects, freeze suns with the ice flower, and escape a black hole, which requires faster than light speeds. Mario is faster than light? Wait, what?
Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars.
What?
This isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
So don't bully his kid, especially if he falls into some of Bowser Jr.'s set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
So
Enough
he-
to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury.
Oh,
a
shit.
form whose very steps cause widespread natural disasters.
Oh, that, nah, this look
Seriously,
hard. I ain't
how
gonna
does
cap.
Mario ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big
Where do we
turtle.
get John
We're
Cena
not even
from?
to the best part. Bowser's dark magic became so potent he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Oh yeah, the
Anything
reality
the king
warping.
imagines, he
Yo,
makes
I did not know Mario had a TV show. Mario had a cartoon TV show? What?
happen. He turned all
This
of
look old,
Yoshi's
old,
Island
like before
into a
I was born.
storybook. And remember those painted worlds in Mario 64? Yeah, he made those. And the staircase that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
I remember the paintings.
BLJ.
He also stole ultra-powerful items like the Wonder Flower, which can mold reality like Play-Doh, and the Dream Stone, which can be used to wish someone out of existence.
I ain't gonna lie,
His most
bro. Would I
iconic
go
thefts
with
are
Dr.
those big,
Eggman? Yo, can I
shiny
change?
Power stars.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Infant power stars,
Yo.
aka Lumas, can become whole galaxies. They also ferried Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times light speed.
Obviously, the Big Daddy Grand Stars.
Okay. I mean, he needs. All right. Obviously, Mario needs items to do that. But is that? I don't know no feat from Sonic. I just know Archie Sonic is probably the strongest Sonic. What about regulars? Can Sonic do that? He said 3 seconds across the galaxy. Like what?
Are even crazier. Bowser used one to power his space kingdom, but then guess who showed up to ruin everything? It's a him!
And when the Grand Star was freed, it caused a chain reaction that destroyed the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Thanks, Space God, that Rosalina showed up to save the
Rosalina.
day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Imagine
Damn.
if this crazy OP fire turtle had to fight himself. Oh wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
He
With
beat
all
himself?
his power, it's a wonder he still hasn't conquered the Mushroom Kingdom. Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him, ride or dies that can't be swayed against him.
Oh, are you
Oh,
saying
shit.
he's secretly happy because he's got a big monster family
Oh
now?
shit.
Yes, but
So he's not
also
bad.
when they actually work together, they've
I mean-
legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So,
He's a baddie through and through who will teleport through space and time to show you what's what. Because he's no ordinary Koopa. Make way for the king!
Nah, that pick is hard. Is that Luigi?
This battle is sponsored
if you
by-
don't know, I like Luigi. Luigi's my favorite. I like Luigi more than Mario. I ain't gonna cap. All right, let's get with this Mario shit, man. I mean, not Mario, Dr. Eggman. I got Dr. Eggman, so I gotta stick with him.
after you play your
But
first...
after that, I didn't know Bowser can. That's actually crazy. I'm not gonna cap to you.
First $5 lineup.
Prize Picks, run your game!
I did not know.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears. Imagine a world of
Ew.
endless possibility where people are free as the wind. Isn't it disgusting? Now imagine a better
I know
world.
Dr.
one with
Eggman gonna
proper
have some
guidance and
crazy
technology
stuff,
to
though.
bring about global peace.
He gonna have a
But
suit, bro.
Wiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen!
Not just any brilliant mind, he's a genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman!
As
Dr.
a man scientist
Eggman.
myself, his story is my inspiration, just as Eggman's was his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, who sought to create world peace through technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria.
Yo, I don't cap, bro. They need to make a series. They need to make. I know this was a short film, but off of that short film, they should make a series, bro. Like dead ass. I'm pretty sure that's money for them. That's money for them and enjoyment for us. Literally.
Maria was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations, better known as
Gun. They're frickin' called G-U-N. Anyway, Lil Eggy grew up a lonely narcissist because all his family talked about was Maria this.
What you mean we got
Maria
Sonic
that.
X? Bro, Sonic X, so far what we've been seeing in Sonic X doesn't compare what we just seen in Shadow, bro. And the Shadow shit, bro. They was throwing hands and this shit just looked nice in general. Let's not do that, man. Let's not do that.
Boo-hoo.
I want a series made by them same people who made that.
neglect and envy tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it to get the attention he deserved.
No, you mean craved. Desperately craved.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said
Tomato,
the same
tomato.
way twice.
He aimed to establish Eggman Land, a capital.
Full name, Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Did I say that right? Ivo? I don't know. Age 50 plus years, height 6'1", damn. Family, blah, 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 okay. Occupation, CEO of Eggman Industry, blah, hobbies, history, blah, blah, favorite food, egg dogs, egg candy, poppin' acorn, this delicious banana. What do you, wait, what? Loves himself, Agent Stone, his daughter. He got a daughter? Hates the hedgehog.
Of science, and this paradise
Also
would have
cold
worked
soup.
just fine if not for that blasted Sonic the Hedgehog.
For years, Eggman's plans literally blew up in his face, and he's a very sore loser.
But just like any good experiment, the doctor did more testing, seeking better
What show is
results.
that?
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world
What
with.
show is
a laser
this?
gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil scientist stuff.
Then there's the big ones. He
Hey,
invented
I
a
know, I remember that, Chad. Yo, Chad, I remember
Flying
that.
armada, typical evil scientist
I remember this.
stuff.
Then there's the
This right here. You remember this? Hey.
big ones. He invented a spatial displacement trap, which while
Shout out to
online,
the gaming channel.
scatters the
It's
target's
not out
atoms
there, but
across
still.
space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus, which transmutes organic tissue into living metal zombies.
Oh.
It's so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Jay Eggman never made
Wait,
himself-
wait, what? Hold up. Hold up.
Scatters the target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus, which transmutes.
Nah, Eggy will always have a harebrained scheme behind his cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan.
No, that's hard, bro. Yo, we gotta start playing.
Quiz.
Yo, we have to start playing the Sonic games, bro. We gotta get back on that. And I still got the recordings and I still gotta upload them on the gaming channel too, bro. I just gotta find the time, bro.
You gotta help me.
What happened now?
I'm addicted to Marvel Snap.
You mean today's sponsor, the
W sponsorship, man. W sponsorship. All right, everybody. Everybody, all right, man. Everybody start saying who y'all got, bro. I said Eggman. I'm gonna stay with Eggman, bro. Out of these two anyway, I think I like Sonic people more, so I'm gonna just stay with Eggman.
Star set.
So, but Eggman Minions, Loki kind of looks stronger. I'm not gonna cap. He got Metal Sonic. He got, what was her name? Sage. I don't cap.
We've run the data through all
But Bowser Jr.
possibilities.
seems strong as shit
for
too.
a death battle.
Bruh. Oh. Wait, what does it say? Operation Catfish?
An announcement. This territory is now the base for my upcoming Eggman Land 2. What a joke.
I like this animation.
I am Dr. Eggman,
Oh.
your genius overlord.
Nah, I like this animation. Hold up. Nah, this is an all-out battle.
Shut up, nerd.
This is, oh damn. Oh yeah. Bowser is tanky though. Oh wait, oh Oh shit.
These toys an invasion.
I was about to say.
Toads do better. That's a decoy, idiot.
This power is
Oh shit. I don't know who this is, but.
ultimate strength.
Oh. Oh shit! They just died? Wait, did he just die? I thought Infinite was strong. Metal Sonic! Hold up! Yo, this soundtrack is going hard. Chance time. Oh, is it gonna be a battle to? Oh shit! Oh yo! Oh! Nah, it looked like he broke the crystal.
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Metal.
It's not over.
Command.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
It's that form.
Showtime.
Oh no, this form for Bowser looks hard. Hold up. Yeah, Bowser about to Sage.
see how the season gets this smooth.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yo, do you hear this soundtrack? Yo, they going crazy! Damn! Oh shit!
Who exacts that?
Nah, Metal Sonic kind of carrying you. I'm not going to cap. Oh shit!
Your hands off my.
Hold up! Hold up! Off of that? Yeah, that's gonna overpower him. Oh! Metal Sonic!
Seize the Death Egg! Max power!
Oh shit! Oh my god, that was hard! Can Bowser tank this? Nah, Bowser is really for the people. Oh shit. Oh no!
Sage, fire is dead!
Oh! Is it over?
So long done.
Climaxing.
This war was not easy.
No! What? Oh my! I was just about to say, ain't there like a no? That was hard though. That was hard as shit. Yo, Metal Sonic, yo, seeing Metal Sonic get erased, bro, was kind of sad, bro. Damn, it's yo.
It's not cap, bro.
I thought they was gonna do the super the super Eggman shit. I ain't gonna cap. I thought they was gonna do that.
One to win, which might seem.
You said Metal sold, Metal carried throughout the thing. What are you talking about, Metal sold? What do you mean? What do you mean? He lost because did you not see the star? I was pretty sure he couldn't even tank that shit either.
Given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But as it turns out, Bowser had everything he needed to take Chrome Dome down. Strap in. This one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First up is physical.
I meant to say high school.
Stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the Egg Dragoon or the Death Egg Robot.
The Death Egg Robot could level cities. Bowser could punch a castle out of orbit.
The Death Egg could destroy stars, but Yoshi could match that level of power. And Bowser's strength is certainly above the green dinosaurs. Plus, while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could change with their powers.
Okay.
With so many items and
Yo,
minions.
that infinite dude or whatever, bro, I thought he was a lot tougher. He got one-shotted, bro. We got one-shotted.
That could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space-time. However, Bowser had a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yeah, Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even a robot.
Meaning he wins the war of attrition.
Damn.
He even had counters for battle enders like the Metal Virus and Spatial Displacement Trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more importantly, Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely, most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back. Bowser takes the edge in powers.
Damn.
But definitely not for intelligence.
Yeah, that goes to Eggman.
4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bowser's not an idiot, usually. Just really clumsy.
That's that, usually.
Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
Easy dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
Oh yeah. Yo, about that infinite. Don't we need that infinite thing? Like, I don't think that was fair that Bowser just got the infinite shit. I ain't gonna cap to you.
Items so powerful they could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real, the Ruby affected a whole planet, but the
Wait, what? What did I just say?
Wonder Flower, which mucks...
Is this a show or is this from NIS? Oh, this is an alternate. Oh, no, I wanted to see this. I wanted to see this. Achieving Super Eggman in Egg Field requires weeks of energy gathering in a modified Phantom Ruby prototype. Bowser using the Wonder Flower could warp reality at a universal range in shorter time. Bowser can also warp stars without power-ups. Also, Super Eggman was countered by positive chaos energy, which shares similarities with the... Oh... Damn.
It's up reality for real. The Ruby affected a whole planet, but the Wonder Flower had the power to alter the universe. Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic or Time Eater.
Their most prized possessions was a tougher call. Together, the Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, but so can the Grand Stars. Arguably not as much given the Emerald scaling to Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly, this is getting fairly abstract, and both
Yo, these alternate scenarios, bro. We need to see these, bro. I look want to see these.
Options that could win the day instantly. So the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
Which means it's finally time to compare their armies.
I feel like Eggman had a way better army.
Glance. I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets. Metal Sonic speed and power alone could solo most of the Koopa Troop. But the Eggman Empire lacked something Bowser had in spades.
What?
Teamwork and loyalty.
Eggman is a notoriously terrible team player. His alliances are practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile, the Koopa Troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's weak points,
giving them plenty of advantages as this war progressed.
They was actually doing
control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s paint. And since the Koopa Troop doesn't rely that much on technology, Sage's hacking potential had little use.
Also, secret weapon? Kamek is kinda busted. Canceling Metal Sonic's power copying, stealing the Phantom Ruby, and potentially swapping the Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item.
I didn't even know he did that. Yeah, I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, he did. Whoever said Metal Sonic sold, no, bro. He literally took the Chaos Emerald from him.
They had millions, no, billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take down the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear. The Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was no pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his life. But the Koopa King's ludicrous strength, abilities, and united forces.
Okay, so yeah, he had
Eggman tried to.
He had a better team.
He's cracked and scrambled.
Nah, that Koopa, he dead ass.
Bowser. Next time on.
Wait, what's the next one? What's the next one? Among Us. Oh shit. This one for jokes and giggles.
Subscribe and join.
Among Us versus Fall Guys, chat. Who we going for, bruh? Who we going for, bruh? We gonna watch that shit though. Damn, no matter who won, always remember that Bowser and Eggman are canonically friends in Olympic Games. I see why the animation required 2 sponsorships. Yeah, nah, they did have 2 sponsorships. Yo, the animation of this battle actually went crazy.